I was in the bando a long, long time. Need to get the Lambo and drive. I was in the lab, you were on my mind, but all I really do is just go. I was in the bando a long, long time. Need to get the Lambo and drive. I was in the...
Hey Anthony, how are you?
Good, how are you doing?
Good, good. The reality is we've narrowed it down to two, and I have Jakt as sort of in the first position, and I'm prepared to move forward based on the fact that you guys design in-house. We also love the idea of trying to keep you on as long as possible.
Yep, totally. Yeah, and we prefer long-term partnerships, so that's great to hear.
I think you guys are the right fit, so I'm excited about it, and I'm really looking forward to working with you guys.
Awesome. Super excited, man. Yeah.
Okay, thanks, man. I'll speak to you soon.
All right, have a good one.
You too. Bye-bye.
Boom. 1 week. Deal closed. Gotta send out the paperwork. Deal's not done until contract is signed and money is in the door. So here's the fun part. My most fun part about getting a deal is I have to go fill out a little form that
Mike created.
that Mike created. So I fill in a form about the deal details, and then I submit it to him. So we have here. I'll show you. This is back when I was still managing all the finances and paying people and all that, which I no longer do because Mike handles that. But this is a legacy one where I sent out a payment via Chase online bill pay. Money was taken out of my account, check was sent, check was never received. The only way to troubleshoot this is I have to walk to the bank, figure out what the hell is going on, probably put a stop payment on it, and then have them resend the check. But I gotta go into the bank. Good thing is the bank is, so we use Chase, it's down the block.
So in regards to your family, basically your family relationship being strained, what do you mean by that?
So, yep, one is gluten-free, right?
The one on the bottom is gluten-free. It's
Perfect.
marked with a Sharpie.
Thank you. Getting that pasta. So anyways, I'll give you the details at another point, but here's the long story short was when I was starting my business year one, a couple months in, I was living with my partner, my old business partner, and my sister was also living with me and one other person. And we had, at that time, the relationship was strained between my parents and me. My mom has visited, we weren't really on talking terms. And we were trying to stay out of each other's way. Well, I was trying to stay out of her way. She wasn't really having it. She wanted to talk and whatever. And anyways, with leaving out the details, the cops ended up being called to arrest my business partner at the time. And I was called. I was trying to hit a deadline at midnight when I found out. My business partner called. He's like, "Hey, your mom called the cops on me. They're gonna arrest me." So I rush home, and the cops are there. And then they're like, "Hey, if we're gonna arrest, the business partner, we have to arrest your sister too because your sister is the one who kind of provoked it." So like fucking A. So I like show up to my apartment when we have a deadline at midnight for a project. This is early days, like a few months into the business too, when I'm still like actively doing the development work with my partner. And so yeah, they ended up not arresting anyone because my mom, they're like, "Hey, we're gonna arrest her and him." They're like, "All right, we're not gonna arrest them," but I ended up having to, they asked me, "Hey, what can you do to help this?" And I was like, "All right, well, we can move out of the apartment." So I had already been looking for some apartments because like things were strained so much, but our lease wasn't over for like a few months. But I found a place. I called the guy and I was like, "Hey, I need to move in tomorrow." I was like, "I really need to," and he's like, "All right." So we ended up moving out literally the next day after that, and moved out of the apartment, paid double rent for a little bit, early days, so like wiped out our money, which sucked. And that next day we had to call the cops again because we had some issues getting out of the apartment. There was more altercations, which were fun. Which again, I'll leave out the details out of respect for my family here. But yeah, after that moment, I kind of stopped talking to my family for the most part. just because it took me a long time to get over that. Like, hey, like you called to get my business partner arrested. You know, that would really fuck up my shit because at the time it was just me and him. So like, if he's arrested, I mean, then I don't know what my business is done, or I don't know what I would do. But anyways, we still ended up meeting the deadline. The project kept going, but like since that moment, I kind of like stopped talking to my family a lot, and that was, you know, 4 years ago when I started the business. So yeah, that's the short story of it. Obviously, a lot of details within there, but that's one of the crazy stories about starting this company. When I said this is why I want to record it. I wish I could have seen that whole thing. It's like a movie because this is just a little snippet. There's more shit like that will come out later.
Talk, I have no idea what they did at all. I've been here trying to figure out some other shit.
Yeah, he said he was almost moved to tears. We were all like,
yeah. Literally
that's
said
not
no.
yeah.
Yeah, that's how you kill a product sprint. The only thing that I care about, one, clients are happy and you guys are happy. So what I'm working on now, something I've been working on. So recently, since my time has been freed up to focus on sales and marketing, or really my time is now freed up. Like my number one priority at the moment is just bringing in more business. So this week I was thinking through, okay, actually putting a plan together behind that now that I have some breathing room where I'm not so operationally bogged down. So part of what I've been working on, and I just whipped this up together yesterday quickly, is just thinking through. I titled it Making Money. Ignore my shitty ways of my design skills are not on point, so I have this weird little thing. But basically, when I was trying to think about, okay, how do we actually make money? And there's I took our chart. So our way of thinking is that there's always 3 stages. Like when we're building products for our partners, there's acquisition, conversion, and retention. And it's the same thing with us, right? So we have to acquire customers, draw them in, we have to convert them to clients, and then we have to retain them. So that's how I'm looking at it. So I broke it up and said, all right, how do we acquire customers? And so the way I broke it out yesterday was there's 4 ways that I see right now for us to acquire new customers. 1 is inbound marketing, 2 is paid marketing, 3 is outbound sales, and 4 is through business development, specifically, or you can call them channel partners, but the idea is partners that would bring you new business, right? And then once we say we have like a lead come in and they're a qualified lead, then we have to convert them, and that's where like inbound sales in my eyes takes over. And then you convert them to a customer, and then you try and retain them. Conversion is what I would say is like my strength. Once someone's here and I know they're like interested in a project, I'm very good at going through that sales process and closing them. What I really need to do now is widen that top of the funnel. So that's where that acquisition component. So really that's where I'm going to be focusing a lot of my time on, because the conversion aspect, I mean, I've been doing that for years, and retention is where Mike really comes in. This is where production, fulfillment, and retention happens. So conversion is me, retention is more Mike, and then I am now also responsible for the acquisition. I just have never really had any time to spend on it, so I've only spent time on really the business development front because that was the biggest bang for my buck. I could make a relationship with a bunch of people, and you know, referrals would funnel in people, and that's still going to be a big strategy. Mike is also helping out with that. What I also did was then I broke down, what does inbound marketing actually mean? So I was just throwing shit out there for now, and on my list of inbound marketing, like things I could do. Paid marketing is smaller in my eyes for us. It's either, and you have outbound sales. There's 2 strategies that I think will work, but I want to run experiments and test them. One is taking existing products or people out there that I'd like to work with, going in, looking at their product, and suggesting improvements to their existing product, or give them ideas for like, here's where I think you could also go. Just to start the conversation, to start adding value and try and have a conversation with them. And the second is trying to go after larger companies, so into, let's call it Fortune 500 companies or Fortune 1000 or whatever it is, larger companies, and seeing, hey, where are there kind of innovation opportunities for them, and then trying to, and this is what I don't know, what I need to figure out is how to like figure out who to talk to at those organizations so that I can actually present my ideas. Or it might be, you know, creative ways of like publicly releasing, like, here's like the ideas I have for your organization, and then running a Facebook ad that targets their specific employees with like my ideas. So then I'm like, instead of having to email them to get in front of them, I'm literally paying Facebook to get in front of their employees just on Facebook. Inbound marketing is a very long-term strategy. I think it's gonna be super important long-term, and like once that stuff is up, like content is up, like it lives online. So over time, more and more business will come our way, in my opinion. Paid marketing is more direct. Haven't really tested that out. And then you have outbound sales. If I can really figure out the outbound sales strategy that works, then I can actually hire a team around that strategy and scale it. So it's really trying to figure out which of these channels works around inbound, paid, and outbound. And once I can experiment and figure out which ones works, I can then build process and team around it, so I can actually scale the sales and marketing team, which will be really interesting. I think we can get up to, you know, we're at, you know, 1.5 million in revenue right now, or somewhere around there. I think we can get up to 3+ just by cracking this and figuring this stuff out. I think, you know, we already have a product people like and that they want, and it works. Now it's just reaching more people, so that's what I need to focus on. And then the last aspect is the business development or channel partners. Right now we're looking at, and these are ones that I've already kind of, nothing new here for us, VCs, incubators and accelerators, larger agencies, angels, marketing agencies, PR agencies, or any other type of companies that serve our same target customer. Could be our lawyer just referred some business to us. It could be our accountant, you know, whatever it is, other companies that service our, so I'll say. But before this strategy, to know like, all right, who are we reaching with these? I mean, I have a good idea on who our customer is, but I really wanted to get it down on paper. So then what I started to do was write out profiles for our customer. So this is a lot of times what we do for our actual customers when they become, is creating user personas and really defining who your customer is, what are their actual pain points that you're working on, so we know how to solve them. So I'm doing the same thing, running the same thing that I you know, practice what I preach and what we do for people, and so highlighting here's what the target customer looks like, here's their pain, and then I can figure out how to actually talk to them with all the content we're producing or advertising or whatever it is. So that's what I'm kind of like mapping out right now.
Daniel got hits.
Daniel got hit.
Cool. I got more bands than Coachella. I got more bands than Coachella. Yeah. I got more bands. More fast, I don't wait up. I got bands like a router. Sorry, bro, can't relax now. I'm just trying to get cash now. I just hit like 10 countries with my soccer ball and I spazzed out. Every day, different city. All my girls look like Iggy. I'm in LA like Rich the Kid. I'm in Chicago like Lil Bibby. I'm in Toronto like I'm Drizzy. I'm in the UK like I'm Dizzy. I'm in New York like 50.